I do need to ask you though, with Last Man, um, I I apologize. I wanted to come back in that last season and be your
I'm
little
sure you
brother
did.
again.
Uh-huh.
No,
Uh-huh.
I
It
really
didn't
did.
seem like it.
I I swear to God, I did. Um,
Uh-huh.
and
I
and
tell
and
your face.
this is weird, man. I did one episode with you, one, and they kept airing it,
I
and
know.
I heard so many things from so many people saying, "What the hell's wrong with you? Why don't you go back?" And the honest
That's
answer is
kind of
because,
what we were saying.
well, first of
But
all,
you're a big shot. You got other stuff to do, apparently.
you should talk. We left on that Friday. You went right into your giant magic bus and drove to Vegas and did however many shows you did. I mean, look, I'm such a fan of how you've carved out your world because I don't know how to describe you. I never have. You're a stand up, you're an actor, you're a philosopher, you're a mechanic of sorts, but you figured it out. And I tried to do something similar in a slightly different way. But the truth is, I loved that experience. That was a really
Yeah.
fun week. And I got to
You
look.
telling everybody wanted you back every day. I did. Those two as brothers were. It was such a good episode.
It was
It was
great.
such a. We were all so excited that you said yes to do it. And I said the way they weave stories. We kept saying, "Well, we'll get them back. We'll put them in that." Because in the sitcom world, babies disappear, dogs disappear.
Right.
You all of a sudden you go, "Didn't you have another
Brothers.
child?" If brothers disappear, you never mentioned our dad, who he passed away in reality too. And I
Oh,
said,
God. Yeah.
you never mentioned him, and that we never mentioned you again. It was creepy, and it worked so well. And I said, I stayed out of it, except told him all the time, we could have brought you back again for whatever reasons your people gave us. That
I don't have any people, but I do have.
well,
I mean, look, it was a week. It was always a week. It was like, yeah, just come in. All we need is a week. It's like just the tip, dude. I mean, wow, a week, a week. How about we do a couple of months and like we do?
right,
So every conversation I ever had about it, it always came back to the same thing. If you're going to do it, something's going to happen and you're going to wind up being a series regular, or you're going to fall so in love with that world that everything else is going to shut down. And at that point, I had a foundation, I had a couple of other nonfiction shows, and I had this thing. And so I couldn't do it small and I couldn't do it
do
big.
it big. I said the deal was we didn't stop talking about it on the set because they loved the chemistry we had. It looked like, of course, I thought you looked much like the older brother yourself. However, that being
Prick.
that being said, it worked so freaking well that it was constantly on my mind. I said, especially when Forrester was there and we did this whole thing about it was a really sad show about how he treated both of us, and then you weren't there to respond to it. It's the sitcom world is really difficult, and they have to weave stories. And it said these guys were not they're not easily frustrated, but they were with several storylines that we couldn't accommodate. Like it's
Yeah.
like you said, either get him in there for 6 months, make him a series regular, or got to try to slip him in one of these things. And we got to open it here. I said, well, he can't quite do that. And I really appreciated that you even took the calls. It was a blessing to have you on there at that point because I really wanted to meet you, number one, and I wanted to have you part of it. It seemed perfect, especially with Forrester as our dad, that we just left that story. As many of the stories that we had to just get, we we had two gay motorcycle women racers as our neighbors. It was a funny story. They were great, and then did they move?
Yeah. What happens?
We had a dog. We always go. Did Muffin just go out? There's, you're 7 years later, Muffin.
Muffin,
Okay,
get back here. Muffin
come
went
on.
out for
Oh, never
cigarettes
mind.
7 years ago.
Yeah. She just went out. Eventually, we were doing that, and we had a kid that disappeared. One of my grandsons. He just what happened to
Gone.
him? Well,
Yeah.
he's at a special camp.
He's with Muffin
Yeah.
on a well, look,
farm.
man, here's what we do, Tim. And now this is way out of the box, and I don't know if your instrument plays this tune, but when you get yourself cast as the villain in this face in the crowd thing, you're probably going to have a younger brother, and he's
Here we
probably
go.
going right. I'm
Wow.
just I'm just soft pitching it. Okay, so
Yeah, I hear
there
what you're
you
doing.
there you are out on the thin branches playing a villain, and here I come, Jimmy Baxter, and you're not quite sure who I am because I got this weird name. I mean, look, if you get David Mamet to write that script where you're a bad guy and I come back as your sitcom brother, I really believe we can do something philosophically.
Just out of nowhere, it's a sitcom.
Out of nowhere.
Wait
Yeah.
a minute. No, I
Wait a
like
minute,
it.
where'd he come from? And I'll
Where'd
bring
he come
Muffin
from?
and your missing kid.
You get this dog in your hand and a kid. You go, my whole life it came back to me. It was all a dream. You're brilliant. And then you out of a box, and I brought the blender.
Yeah, and I got the blender, and I got it working again. You're gonna
Look at
love
this.
it.
Yeah. For just a second. Oh shit.
Or we could just go on Leno's show. He's always desperate for guests. I did it last year and had a ball, and I know you're on there every couple hours. Why don't we just show up one day and freak him out?
And it's right. It's literally a mile from my house. You've seen his shop, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I've been over there sometimes. It's constantly trying to get rid of me. Anyway, okay, that's good to see you over here like that. He's walking, and he keeps walking towards the garage. We're gonna have lunch today, right? You know what? I gotta have this whole thing over there. I got a little Citron over there, and a Peugeot sitting here, and then all of a sudden the door will slam, and he's gone. I said,
He's gone, man.
why is he gone?
There's like a hole in the wall shaped like Jay running. I don't know.
He keeps walking away from me the whole time. We go, Jay, did you asked me to come by here, right? Yeah, I did. The whole thing. I gotta talk to the neighbors. Jay, door shuts.
Imagine?
I'm sitting there.
He sounds so much like Mike Tyson. It makes me want to see the two of them have some kind of rap off or something. I never noticed it till you just did that, but